Hello, and welcome to this. This is kind of different from what I normally do, and I just thought for once I would do a recommendation for a music group or band, which I don't think I normally do. Usually, when I do videos, it's either about an article or just recommending something that I either read, which is either comics or video games. And I thought I would just do one about music because this is actually a band I've recently gotten into. I think it was maybe a week or two ago when I started listening to their music. The first one was, oh, actually, no, I'll get to that later. But this is about a band called Sabaton, and just why I think you should listen to them a little, or why I would recommend them, in my opinion. The main reason that I would recommend them is for the same reason I would recommend people listen to Motorhead. There's a versatility or diversity of genres in the music they give. And I do mean that wholeheartedly. If you've never listened to Motorhead, there was there was kind of a different genres to the stuff Lemmy and his buddies would make. Like he would do punk, metal, blues, and that's what Motorhead would do. But back to Sabaton, they have done a range of music genres as well, in my opinion. But I only know of a few, mainly two, which is metal and punk. And there's probably other genres because I'm still learn listening to their music and find ones that I like more and more. But I think this is a band that I would like to recommend to people, starting with some of the songs that they have, which I'll get to in a minute. Another reason I want to recommend this band is because there are three things I think, or I believe wholeheartedly, that could make great inspiration for music. One of them is history, another is mythology, and the third is the pulps. And the pulps really could do with more music. I know at least two of them have gotten songs inspired by them, or they've influenced some songs. And that's The Shadow and Elric of Melna Benet. The Shadow definitely does. That famous line, The Shadow Knows, was put into a song also called The Shadow Knows, or Shadow Knows. And then there was one called Talanorn, or something, but it was either inspired by Elric or The Eternal Champions, a book by Michael Moorcock. But anyway, and I bring this back to the reason why I'm recommending this is because Sabaton songs, as far as I can tell, are mainly influenced by history and acts of heroism and bravery and all that, which is good because I like that about their songs and how it feels like you're getting a history lesson in song form. One of the songs is actually about one of my favorite moments in Greek history to hear about. Another one is about one of my favorite aviators in World War One. They have one about the Bushido Code. Well, I think it's the Bushido Code. And a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, history is ripe with inspiration for songwriting, in my opinion. Because if you look through history, you will find no shortage of messed up and interesting stuff that happens, and interesting characters as well. And I kind of wish they would do songs about mythology because mythology is also ripe for inspiration. And I don't think I've heard a lot of songs inspired by mythology like Cuchulainn or Gilgamesh. I think would make good metal songs. Actually, from what I've heard, Cuchulainn's story sounds very metal. I mean, the guy tied himself to a rock with his own intestines, or that stringy organ part of your body, so he could stand up and fight. That sounded very metal to me. Then again, I have trouble understanding what constitutes something to be metal, but yeah, I just think that would be interesting. And history, actually, no, history more than anything is just fascinating. And I think these songs do a good job of having a chance to get people interested in learning more history. Because there's some things about history that we don't get taught about anymore, like World War One. They had to condense that shit down when I was in high school. There was so much that went on in that war that they could not tell me in one class in one semester, and they had to shorten it all down. So I lucked out. The school I went to in high school wasn't trying to brainwash me; they just were short on time. So they had that excuse at least. And the last reason I would recommend the band is because the lyrics and instrument work just rock. They're very attention getting. They get your and it sounds like some I would listen to while I play a game. That or when I'm doing chores or when I'm trying to brainstorm stuff for me to write about. But anyway, I'll get to the recommendations of some of the songs now. One is The Red Baron, and another is, what was it called? Aces in Exile, Sparta, Shiroyama, Swedish Pagans, The Attack of the Dead, The Final Solution, and The Price of a Mile. And those are just the ones I'm going to be recommending for now. Well, yeah, I'm going to recommend. Those are the ones that I recommend for people who are just looking for songs to look at and just want to sample their work, I guess. But yeah, those are just some recommendations. This is mainly the recommendation I want to do because I usually don't have a favorite band. I have favorite songs. But yeah, they come pretty close to being one of my favorite bands. Well, one of them anyway. And I just wanted to recommend this one because I thought this was good, and I thought I would just do a video on it. Try to branch out what I know, the type of videos I do, even though they kind of suck in terms of quality. And yeah, just give these a chance. You might like them, you might not. If you got nothing better to do, then yeah, why not? Anyway, have a nice day, and yeah. Remember the game was rigged from the start, and maybe this will bring some sanity into your life a little. Or you can remember what sanity felt like.